Hello students, very nice morning to all of you. Myself Deepak Kumar Rusti from Modern English School, Kuntinagar, Nevada branch. Student, today I am going to discuss the fourth chapter of class 10, that is our principle of communication. We have already discussed in the last chapter barriers in communication. Means what type of the factors which barriers which are affected in our communication. For that, to avoid that one, we will discuss the next chapter. If we follow some of the principle when you communicate, that time no any type of the barriers will be affected in our communication. Okay students, so we will discuss that principle of communication. So student, we have discussed already that one also. What do you mean by communication? The communication means conversation between sender and receiver by using words, symbols, signs, etc. That means some of the words, by the words we are communicating, by the symbols also we are communicating, by the sign also communicate. So these are all the way for communicating. And when you are communicating, some of the factors or barriers are also that affected in our or during the communication. Okay student, so don't be not to affect during the communication, to follow some principle. That's why we are starting the chapter our principle of communication. What are principle we have to follow? Students, in the second chapter we have discussed communication process or communication cycle. That means when A and B are the two persons, when they are communicating with each other, then what type of the factors are going through? We have discussed that one the first students. One is your message. Yes or no students? Then students, another one is your sender. Okay students, then encoding, then channel, then decoding, then receiver, then feedback. So when two persons or one person will communicate with more than one person, they follow these are the factors which are discussed. Okay students, so when it will be affected in our communication, during the encoding time, during the channel and during the decoding. So some of the barriers are affected in our communication during these three: encoding, channel, decoding. So to avoid that one, to follow some of the principles. We have already discussed what do you mean by sender, what are the encoding, channel, decoding, receiver and feedback. These are already we have discussed. Okay students. Now we will discuss how to avoid this type of the barriers. We follow some of the principles. Okay students. So students, in the communication, not only transmitting, but it also sender require also giving the message, receiving the message also. Students, don't be thinking communication not only the transmitting. Communication not only the transmitting, but also giving, receiving the message. Okay students, that means when you give the message, you must receive the message also. Okay, so this side of the principles we discuss in this chapter. So students, what are the principle of What are the principle of? That means effective in communication. Principle of effective communication. Principle of effective communication. Okay, students. So, students, there are 7 CS factors. There are 7 CS factors for which it will be effective in our communication. Good effective in our communication, not bad effective. So you follow the 7 principles, 7 CS principles, then it will be happen what? It will be good effect in our communication. We will discuss one by one. So today we will discuss only 2 principles, the next we will discuss the next principle. So today I will discuss the first, this one, principle of clarity. There are 7 CS, principle of clarity, principle of completeness, principle of correctness, principle of conciseness, principle of coherence, then principle of credibility and principle of continuity. If you follow these 7 CS principles, then it will be good effect in our communication. Okay, student. So now let us discuss one by one. Now come to the first one, principle of clarity. Students, at what time the receiver cannot get your message or cannot understand your message? When the sender will not send the message in clear way. That means half of the message will send, not full message. When the sender will not send the full message to the B, that is what? No clarity. When we are communicate by orally, if pronunciation is not clear, then what the receiver what will tell? Your clarity is not good. I am not getting you. I am not getting what you are telling. Please be clarity more. What you are telling, be clarity. When we are communicating by written way. And in that written way, when my sentence is too long, my paragraph is too long, so many paragraphs are there. In that case also, the receiver also cannot understand, not clarity. When we communicate by visualize, and it will not display the clear way, that means that is not good clarity. So students, there are different, what type of discuss the types of communication. In all type of communication, we must need the good clarity. Whether the orally, whether the written, whether the your gesture. Okay students, everything we need the clarity. Students, be a good person or good clarity person. Not only if you are wear the formal dress, but you are not using the shoes, then what will happen? It is also bad affected. Okay, student, it may chance from the receiver side you are not a good communicator, because communicator not only telling, your gesture also will be good affected in your communication. Okay, students. So students, this is our what is your principle of clarity? Clarity, everything means if you send a message by written way, words should be good. Words should be short. The sentence should be short. When you are telling orally, your voice should be good. Your tone should be good. Your tone is slowly you try to tell, for which the receiver can easily understand. If you are communicate by the visualize, then see your visual by which either mobile phone, by the television, by the desktop, by the laptop. So with a good clarity. Okay student, if during the communication, if your clarity is good in all type of the background, then the sender and receiver, they can communicate in a good way. No any type of the disturb will be happening. Is that clear, students? So in between the sender and receiver, if the good clarity, then what will happen? They will communicate easily without any disturbance. Is that clear, student? The clarity is the one of the principle of our effective communication. The next one is your students, principle of completeness. Principle of completeness. That means when we are communicating, or here they communicate between the A and B, the message is not completed. Suppose I am telling I am. After I am, I will not tell anything. Is it complete? It is not yet complete. I am going to. It is also incomplete. Okay, students. Suppose you are reading. Suppose I will do some of the mathematical calculation. 72 plus 28. Okay, students. Suppose I am teaching some of the students. When I will teach, suppose 8 plus 2, 10. 0 carry with 1. 1 plus 2, 3. That's it. If I will not fill this place value, I have filled only this place. If I will not fill this place value, so this is your incomplete. So when you communicate, so always try to complete your message. What you want to tell to the receiver, try to complete. Without the complete or incomplete, that is a bad affected in your communication. That's why this is a second principle of our effective communication. That is our principle of completeness. Your message should be completed. Otherwise, your message cannot send. If you send, the receiver cannot get. Is that clear, our students? So, students, what you talk or when you write, when you visualize, okay, students, whatever or any other way you can communicate, it should be completed. Okay, students, without the complete, it will be problem. So, if you follow principle of completeness, then our communication must be good. No any disturbance. Is that clear, our students? So, that is our second. One is the principle of clarity. Your clarity must be there, and your completeness also must be there. If you are completing, fully completed, then you can totally communicate with the receiver. If the teacher is learning something new, teaching something new, and the teacher is not finished your syllabus, if your teacher is not completed perfectly way of the chapter, then what will happen? Your chapter is incomplete. That means your communication is also incomplete. So to complete, how to tell, that is our good way. When the teacher will teach you by completing way of the chapter, then it is a good way communication in between the teacher and students. Is that clear, students? So that's why I am telling you, students, to communicate. First of all, you think what type of you want to communicate, to be clarity and try to complete. Then you can easily communicate with others. So student, today I discuss only these two principles. Next, I will discuss another principle of effective communication. That's it. Thank you.